Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. I've been on YouTube for several years now, and there's probably other videos on this channel that might interest you. So I'm gonna leave a card with some other videos on my channel. After this video, if you'd like to check them out, that'd be great. See if you want to stick around. So, social distancing in Japan. What is it? How is it being done? Are people doing it? All this and more. Let's take a look. So first of all, in the US, they recommend people stay 6 feet apart from each other. So in Japan, they recommend that we stay 2 meters apart. However, for some people, 2 meters might be a little bit difficult to imagine. So they have these pictures that are really helpful and easily illustrate how far away we should stay from other people. For example, you could imagine that there is a giant panda between you and another person. If a giant panda is a little hard to imagine, you could try a leatherback turtle. Or how about a young male polar bear? Or we could imagine that there are 2 king penguins between us. Easy, right? Japan loves mascots, and this situation is no different. So, of course, there is a mascot for the thing that can't be said on YouTube, created by Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare. Kuaran is identified as a small fairy, but appears in life size when making public appearances. The mascot is said to travel around the world to prevent illegal and dangerous items from making their way into Japan. Kuaran wears goggles which help spot infectious diseases, prohibited food imports, and other violations, while the shield is made to protect Japanese citizens from dangerous things. The Q on its forehead stands for quarantine. Its back also looks like a Q. It also has wings, so it can fly anywhere at a moment's notice. And it seems that now is Kuaran's big break. Japan really loves their mascots, what can I say? Also, because of the situation right now, a lot of students couldn't have their graduation ceremonies, as spring is the time in Japan where the school year ends and a new one begins. However, Business Breakthrough University had a very clever idea. Using avatar robots, graduates were able to walk during their graduation ceremony and receive their diplomas, all while they stayed at home. Each student had their own tablet and virtually controlled the robot from the comfort of their own home. The robots were even dressed in caps and gowns. I like this idea. I'm glad that the students could graduate while staying at home, but I am curious about all of the other people who are attending the ceremony and not wearing masks. As I mentioned in my last video, the Japanese government does not have the right to force people to stay home. However, they can publicly shame people. Police are standing guard, and when they see people gathering, they confront them, complete with video cameras and microphones, as seen in this clip. In another news story, after Prime Minister Abe declared a state of emergency, an employee of a construction company in Yamagata Prefecture decided it would be a good time to travel to Sendai. When his manager found out that he not only refused to stay at home, but also traveled, the manager told him not to come to work, just to make sure he wouldn't spread anything that he might have picked up along the way. However, the employee in question ignored his boss's requests and showed up to his work site. Obviously upset, the manager reprimanded the employee by punching him in the face. It seems that the police were called and the manager was arrested. These are crazy times. There has also been a trend going around recently where users overlay their own videos on those of a singer named Hoshino Gen as he sings a song supporting social distancing. The name of the song can be translated as Dance at Home. However, the scandal is that Prime Minister Abe created his own version and included him sitting at home with his dog, watching TV and drinking tea. たまに重なり合うような僕ら扉閉じれば明日が生まれるなら遊ぼう一緒にうちで歌おう悲しみの向こうすべての歌で手をつなごう生きてまた会おう僕らそれぞれの場所で重なり合えそうだ However, many internet users attacked Abe and said that the video seemed to be tone deaf, that it seems he is only relaxing at home during an emergency. Hoshino Gen quickly distanced himself, saying that the Prime Minister's video was just like everyone else's, and that there was no contract between him and the Prime Minister. What do you think of Abe's attempts to be relatable? Was it tone deaf, or was he trying to reach a broader audience? You decide. And the last thing I want to tell you about today is convenience stores. So finally, some convenience stores are implementing social distancing. So far, they are not limiting the number of people who can go into the convenience stores, or grocery stores for that matter. However, they got rid of their eat-in counters. All of the chairs are up on the counter. They put squares down so people know where to stand. However, in my experience, people ignore those squares. And finally, they implemented a plastic shield between the cashier and the customer. So hopefully more places will start implementing these social distancing tactics. That's your update from Japan. I hope you enjoyed these stories. Please comment down below which one you thought was the most interesting or the craziest, and please tell me what is happening in your country and your hometown. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the links for everything is down below. I also have a Patreon if you would like to help support this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys! All right.